It's 64 boy.
Scratch.
Dressing the culture, I'm adjusting the culture, huh? Adjusting the culture, I'm adjusting the culture, huh? Dressing the culture, I'm adjusting the culture, huh? Dressing the culture, I'm adjusting the culture. We gon' talk about it. Come adjust the culture, we gon' talk about it. Come adjust the culture, we gon' talk about it. Come adjust the culture, we gon' talk about it. Come and adjust the culture, huh? Brick by brick, you get your boy Big Wall, and you already know the vibes. We are here, and y'all know who I got in the building. I got my big bro, the big dog himself, P.stock. What's going on with you, big bro?
What's happening, bro, man? You know, it's always a family reunion when we do the Dress the Culture. You know how that go. You know, I mean, the culture's been going crazy. How you been, man? Everything moving. The pandemic seemed like it's starting to go away. You know,
is it?
That's what they're saying.
Is it?
Yeah, that's what they said. They relax and stuff. You can't believe nothing they say. You really can't.
Bruh, you know, these numbers still looking crazy out here. You know what I'm saying? Now, they even higher than they ever been. But if you know, like I say, to each his own, man. If you feel like you can get on out here and get back to your life or whatever, man, more power to you. You know what I'm saying? By all means, I definitely think you should tap in. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, definitely tap in. You know, and yeah, so it's crazy because, like you said, numbers are still not reflecting it, but they're relaxing masks. You know, you don't have to wear a mask here. You don't have to, and people weren't wearing masks anyway. And then I heard that there's a variation of the Omicron virus now. So it's the variant of a variant of a variant out there now. So I'm not taking no chance, man, because we have a great show, and some of the information we got is pertaining to some of this stuff that I think, you know, and you know, the evidence points there, the facts point there, as a matter of fact. But with this pandemic, man, you know, your health, you got to think of your body, your health.
Man, your health, your mental, everything. You know what I mean? We talk about these times. It's strange times, man. You know what I mean? But you know, it's one of them times in life where, you know, it only comes around. You don't see it that much often. You know what I'm saying? Like where everything is going on, from the race to the diseases to the wars. It's so much going on in this in this span of lifetime, from the 80s to the 90s, even to the 2000s. We've seen so much, you know what I mean? Even down to the 2022. You know what I'm saying? That was something that haven't been seen, where people used to write stories and talk about that specific day in time. We didn't have the time where the solar system, where the eclipse that lined up. There's been a lot of special things that happened in this time period, man, where it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
you really
it is
think
crazy.
About it. You know, it's a crazy time to be alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is a crazy time to be alive. And you really got, especially with children and that learning, you know, impressionable age, you got to get in there and explain stuff to them thoroughly. Yeah. You know, and that's something else I want to talk about too. You got to get in there and you got to teach your kids, you know, the stuff that you want them. Give them the tools for them to succeed. Yeah. You know, going forward, you know. Build their self-esteem, build their confidence, work with them, you know, question. Don't get belligerent, but question teachers if there's something going on, just to see, because a lot of us, the education systems and everything, and the public school system in the inner cities aren't as good. They don't have the books. They don't have certain things. The teachers, you know, some of the teachers are maybe young, just starting out. Getting their feet wet, trying to learn, wanting to do good, wanting to do right by these kids. You know, but they just don't have it. The budgets, as they say, the school kids, but that's a part of the culture, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But it's like the music scene, everything is like is like crazy, man. Like you said, it's like something's out of whack, like something's in whack.
It's a glitch in the matrix.
It's a glitch in the matrix.
It's definitely a glitch in the matrix. Now, it's so much going in the culture, man. Like, we talk about hip hop now. Now, hip hop has been kind of crazy. Now, you watched it. Me and you talked about it. We watched it. You know what I'm saying? The legendary verses between Jada Kiss. You know what I'm saying? The Lock, Styles P. You know what I'm saying? The Ghost against Cameron, Jewels, Jim Jones, and Freaky Zeke, the Dipset. That it was legendary. You know what I'm saying? Now, since then, that boy Jim Jones, he been talking real spicy. You know what I'm saying? And Jada Kiss, you know what I'm saying he want to challenge Jada Kiss to a solo versus. You know what I'm saying? And he been chipping that Kiss for a while. You know what I'm saying? And I really don't know. You know what I'm saying? If that's a mountain he want to climb. You know what I'm talking about?
No, Jim better fall back.
Yeah.
I like both of their music. But nah, man, I don't see Jim in the same arena with Jada at all. With Kiss at all.
Yeah.
Nothing against Jim.
Nothing against him. You know what I'm saying? Because Capo done a lot for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Dipset, they legendary group. But when we talk about just material and just like Kiss will get him. You know what I'm saying?
Kiss will get him.
Kiss will get him. You know what I'm saying? Like
Kiss
is one of the ones. His catalog is crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think Styles and She could get him too.
Yeah,
he don't want no. They shouldn't want no parts of them boys. But
Kiss, Kiss, he ain't ducking no smoke. He said, I heard him say that, but I don't entertain it. I don't think verses will entertain it. I don't think the people will want to see that. Jada said in response to Jim Jones' challenge on Star Jones' show on Shane 45. You know what I'm saying? So Kiss said, he ain't even entertained. Not only
he said it's a slaughter. He said it's a slaughter. I'm not in for that. He ain't in for that.
Yeah, he said he don't even think the people want to see it.
Nah, the people don't. The people wouldn't want to see it. Because they'd be like, Jada and who? No, Jim, stay on Love and Hip Hop. Do your thing, man. Play the role.
Don't do Capo like that. Don't do Capo like that. P.stock.
Like I said, I love the Dipset. I love it. Love their music. I love their style. Cameron and them. They had that gimmick. That rapping gimmick, and hip hop and rap needs that.
It's just being real. When we talk about just the content of the music, it's just totally different. You know what I'm saying? So I get it, man. Shouts out to Jim Jones. Shouts out to Styles P. Yep. Shout out to Sheik Luch. You know what I'm saying? Jim Jones, Cameron, Jewels, and Freaky, legendary hip hop group. Shouts out to all of y'all, man. It's
Shouts
dope,
out.
you know what I'm saying?
And Jim, hey, Summer in Miami is in my playlist. That's in my thing. That's one of my, classics. I think that Jim pulled out. That him and Trey. They
Jim's still going crazy with the Lobby Boys. Shouts out to him and Mano. You know what I'm saying? Going crazy with the Lobby Boys.
Him and Mano.
You know what I'm saying? Now, going from one versus situation, P, to another versus situation, but it's kind of different. You know what I'm talking about? Now, when we talk about Diddy and the boy Freddie P from the band, we all know Freddie P, he done came out recently speaking about how Diddy has ruined his life. He's hurt situations and relationships with other people. You know what I mean? It's a crazy situation, man. We got a snippet. We're going to play some of Freddie's video that he posted, you know what I'm saying, that it went viral on social media. We're going to let y'all check this out. And, we're going to be right back to address the coach. You already know the vibe.
No doubt.
This year, I want step kids or something, dog. Because my son grown. And seeing him happy, seeing him be successful is the last thing I want on earth. Y'all niggas don't know I contemplated suicide because I love God. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of earth, man. I want somebody to take my life, bro. I asked God to take my life, bro. I don't want to do it. Because there's shit that nigga been through. I step on shit. No problem. I told my son the other day, I said, you know how good I feel knowing you don't have to come up in a life where you got to pray for your sins. Where you don't have to worry about it. I said, dog, I've been through a lot. I've been praying for my forgiveness for my whole life. I don't know no other way. I don't know what it feels to be a good citizen. I don't know that shit, dog. I never had that money. From 13, we've been providing on our own, dog. Big gangsters, my nigga, my mama's kids. We ain't had no daddies, dog. All that shit y'all niggas got. We ain't got all that, man. My big brothers is my daddy, dog. And we learned along the way. So I came up in a life where shooting is normal, robbing is normal. That's not my son will have to go through that. He can be a citizen. He can go do anything in this world. He can be a pilot. My fucking son will be a pilot, nigga. Think I give a fuck about these niggas? It ain't even about money no more. This shit ain't even about money, gang. Cause can't no money make me happy. Nigga, my dog asked me the other day. He like, what'll make you happy, bro? I'm like, I don't even know, man. Just I like doing for people. I just like to be able to be there for. I just love to be there for people. That's what made me happy from day one. That's why I even did the band. I don't give a fuck about no music, man. God gave me this talent. This talent is given, bro. You can't take that from me, bro. I do this shit. The shit y'all work hard on, I do in 2 minutes, man. 2 minutes. It take a lot to do this video. I don't even know if I'm gonna release it, but I needed this for my sanity. I had to just break away and talk to myself real quick. But people don't know what a nigga been through to be at your highest peak and have it snatched away from you because you don't want to kiss ass. And man, we all black people, man. Black people continue to step on each other and hold each other down. And that shit for people mental. I'm a nigga that'll run in there and blow your shit loose, bro. I don't give a fuck. Do you really want to be in a situation where you make a man that mad, dog? Where you take.
Wow. Yeah, man.
I think Freddie needs to talk to some counseling. You know, he needs to see counseling. Because you talk about taking your life in one sentence and then talking about your son, you know, being there for people. How that doesn't go together. You know, if you're going to be there for people, you can't be contemplating suicide, you know. Yeah. And another thing I came up with, and I think a lot of people, younger people, you know, they confuse stuff like, you know, he had an issue with Diddy. Okay, I read a little bit about it. He was treating the house like a boot camp or whatever. And that goes to the core of a lot of this younger generation and that generation coming up that don't have the discipline. Are people to sit there and maybe yell at you or put you on schedules and discipline to achieve your goal, to help you achieve through their thing. You came on that show, you know. I mean, Diddy ain't put no gun to your head to come on the show. You see the opportunity to make money, you get that money, and then while you're up there, you figure out how to go to the next level because that 15 minutes ain't gonna last forever. You got to stack and put that cheddar to the side for when it all ends, you can fall back and take care of your kids until you can move on. Because there's artists that's been up there and down. Now they working regular jobs to survive.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of crazy, man. Like when you dig into the psyche and that mental health thing is real important because it's always been frowned on in our community, but it's always been a part of our community. Us as a community, we are stressed out, post-traumatic stress. We done been through so much. So we as a community, we need therapy. You know what I'm saying? And that's a clear example of it. You know what I mean? When you dealing with somebody who has some issues, you know, like I watched the band, you know what I'm saying? I seen it, you know, and I know the situation where, you know, they wanted Freddie around and then he wasn't around. He said he wanted to go home, so on and so forth. But like, I'm a believer that if you in that situation, you should be able to springboard off of that to create something for yourself. You know
if you have the talent.
If
you're sitting there saying you can do something in 2 minutes, then take that 2 minutes, man. It's been what, 10 years?
Yeah.
Take that 2 minutes and make something happen.
That's what I'm saying. And he spoke about Cali. He spoke about Ross, how he rocked with them. You know what I mean? And he feel like they don't mess with him because of Diddy. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. Like he's been blackballed is pretty much what he's saying. But at the end of the day, let's say that is the case. You know what I mean? You should still be able to utilize your fame to create something for yourself. Like when we talk about Babs Bunny, she was on a band too, and she has used her celebrity to create a battle league where she's still relevant. You know, look at E Ness. He's a battle rapper. He's still relevant. You know what I mean? It's so many people that came out of them groups. When you talk about Day 26, Danny DeCane, there's people who are still doing their thing. You know what I mean? But I feel like I'm not going to sit here and say Puff was perfect and Puff, because there's always stories about Puff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to say.
So we know there's something there. We know something's up with
you know what I'm saying? The Locks, you know, speaking about the Locks, literally had to go on the radio and make him sign their publishing over. They masters.
Give
you know
their publishing the masters back. Yeah.
It's something where that smoke is fire, what they say, right, P? So I'm not going to say Diddy is an angel, but at the same time, you have to be responsible for your own career. You got to be able to take it to the next level, at least create something off of your fame and celebrity. You know what I'm saying? To create something for yourself.
A hit record's a hit record. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
If somebody blackballs you and you come up with a hit record and it hits the airways and the people like it and they love it, they're going to buy it. No blackball's going to stop that. Hit record's a hit record. You got to make a hit. You know, it sounds to me like he went in depending on Diddy to set him up with everything. But like we talked, you know, earlier, when you get to that certain level and you up there, you got to be able to make those lateral moves. To make good decisions for your future, to get in, to take that fame you're on, like you said, and then springboard into another situation to keep you working, keep you going.
Even if it don't have nothing to do with music. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, utilize
could be acting.
Man, it could be anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, for real, man. You know what I'm saying? It could be a good city job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what it is. Somebody gonna give you this good $30 an hour job for the city because you Freddie P on the band. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, I don't care how you utilize this celebrity. Utilize it to put yourself in a better position. You know what I'm saying?
I don't get it either. You know, and then and that spells he needs to go talk to somebody.
Yeah,
somebody in his life that know him needs to get with him and get him guided and in the right direction. You know? Because that's, you know, that's scary. You know,
it is.
And he's representing gangster. And he did say something when he mentioned that he ain't have no father. You know, they didn't have fathers. Okay. So you can't, you know, so now you got to be the father. You got a son. You mentioned your son.
Yeah.
Do for him. Don't think about contemplating no suicide, whatever. You got your son. You gotta get him through it. This world is messed up, especially for the African Americans and the you know, the black and brown people.
Talk your shit,
in this country. It's no joke, you know. So you got to stand up. You got to fight. You got to make a way for yourself.
Yeah. You
know, and you can't really, you can't depend on them because, you know, you just can't depend on them. They ain't gonna help you, though.
You got to get it for you. You know what I'm saying? You got to get it for you. You know, and that's what we're gonna say. Shouts out to Freddie P, man. I hope you get all of the support, man, that you need, brother. Go talk to somebody. Get that hate off of your heart, man. You
get it off there, man. Don't hurt yourself.
It's not Diddy's responsibility. You know what I mean? To do anything for you, man. Like I say, man, don't nobody owe you nothing, not even your mama. And I myself had to learn that. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, man, I wish you all the support. Shouts out to Freddie P. Shouts out to the band. Shouts out to Diddy as well. You already know the vibes, man. Yeah. And we sending positive energy to everybody, all parties involved.
All positive energy. We don't want to share no negativity. You know, we don't hate or dislike anybody. It takes too much energy to hate somebody. You know, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, when there's so much that need to be done.
Yeah.
But we will keep it straight with you and give you the facts, you know,
100%.
on things, on certain items, you know, and that's a big part of a pet peeve I'm having that I want to have this discussion as well. I want to address the culture on it, and this serious thing. We got some things, but leading up to that with this war in Ukraine, though.
Yeah.
You put me on something that was definitely a head shaker, you know, and it changed my whole view and opinion on Ukraine.
And it brings us to our segment that we like to call, you know what I'm saying, the culture shock. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be the segment that we bring up different things that we're going to talk about to address the culture and show you guys how we feel about it. Because if it's a shock to us, we know it's a shock.
No, it's going to be a shock to you. Yeah. And that's what this is. This is the culture shock right here. You know, but that situation, you put me on that. You know, I didn't even hear that or see that and read that. And, you know, just hearing it angered me. You know, because you have flashbacks and memories, you know. And go ahead, Big Wall. Let the people know. Yeah, there it is right there. There it is. African students fleeing the Russian invasion say they have been prevented from crossing the Poland due to the Ukrainians' first policy. Okay. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah.
You know, don't, you know, I mean, I'm not apologizing for it, but get out of here.
Yeah.
You blocking other people from leaving. The first day, 200,000 of the Ukrainians fled the country. They was out. They was out. So you want to stop the African students from leaving because of the, I bet you they ain't stopping other Europeans from leaving.
Bruh, like you nailed it to the cross when we talk about changing your whole viewpoint on a situation. You know what I mean? When I learned that they was doing that to my fellow Africans, and let's be clear, you know, just because you over there, I stand, we all want, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we all.
I'm not going to continue the cycle of continuing to divide us, because I have learned so many things on how they divide us over there and they divide us over here. They playing games to keep us divided. So I refuse to divide anymore when we talk about people of the same color.
Colors,
no more.
It's no more of that.
It's over.
No
with.
more
I'm done. I'm done. And, and if you with me, join me. You already know the vibe. So when I found out that they were stopping my fellow Africans at the border so they can't be safe because of the Ukrainians' first policy, meaning they can't leave until the Ukrainians leave. You know what I'm saying? Similar to what they did on the Titanic. They locked all the slaves in the basement and let them die so they could get off of the boat. So the rich people can get off to the boat and let everybody else die. So it reminded me of that. You know what I mean? And that energy changed my whole viewpoint, because at the end of the day, no matter where you go, no matter where you at on this earth, is one thing that you cannot run from, and that's being black. And that's sad. You know what I mean? Where even in these times, your humanity still don't kick in. And it just continues to show me that no matter what, like I mean, you talked before, like with the pandemic, with this war, it's people never get down to the point where it's just about humanity. They always gonna see your color. They always gonna treat you as if you're less than, even in times where you would think we should come together and put certain nonsense to the side. It never changed, man. That was so disheartening. That was disheartening, because I was really feeling a way about the Ukrainians. Like, man, it's sad seeing them, what they're going through. It's tough, you know what I'm saying? And me as a human being, you know what I mean? And for me, they white. You know what I'm saying? They white.
Yeah, it's Caucasians. It's Caucasians going after Caucasians.
And I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at them like they're people. Like, man, they over there killing them people. That is sad. You know what I mean? I'm not looking at color. But even in them times, they over there, they looking at color.
They're looking at color.
Makes me think that's not something they just started. Just as a country, they're racist.
They're racist.
You can't tell me they not.
Maybe not all of them. Maybe not all of them. Not every single Ukrainian out there. But yeah, this shows that what their culture is about.
Absolutely.
You know, and
Absolutely.
It doesn't surprise me. No. Yes and no. No, because it's the 21st century.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got other European nationality people fleeing the country. The first day, 200,000 of them was out.
Yeah.
Was out.
Yeah.
So, and they all probably weren't Ukrainians. There was probably other nationalities going out in there, but they're going to try to stop all the Africans. I think, man, get the heck out of here, man.
That's crazy, brother.
Get the heck out of here. And that brings me to, you know, and that makes it so mad. So, that brings me to something that I really want to share, the culture shock. And it's something that I think every African-American, let's just, you know, get to the point, okay? Everybody on this planet that consider themselves human is from the mitochondrial DNA of an African woman, okay? Everybody. If you say you're not, then what planet are you from? What planet are you from? Because you're not from Earth.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't prove anything otherwise.
Yeah.
You know, and then that goes by when you look at Freddie P, the situation there, and the situation for Africans that's going along with hundreds of years. I would say that definitely the last 500 years of putting the racial game on it. They starting this race stuff. There's only one race on this planet.
Let's be clear.
There's only one race.
Clear. Yeah.
Only one. There's only one race. Okay. And let's be clear. And there's proof definitive. The African was the first.
Mm-hmm.
The Homo sapiens erected, intelligent human was African.
Absolutely.
You know? I mean, and the Africans populated this whole earth for millions of years.
Yeah.
You know, it's been millions of years they migrated to every spot on this planet and stayed. Yeah. And whatever conditions happened in those climates, in those areas, is how the peoples adapted and changed. But a lot of the lighter skin.
If you're smart enough, you know. It's not reasons that they snatched off the noses on them old sculptures and them old tombs. You know why? Because they nose look like ours. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They don't want you to see that. Like, if you're smart enough, you can see it. We are the first man and woman
on this planet. And you know, we got some great videos that we want to run and show you on this segment, this culture shock segment, because this is very, very important. We're going to hit you and we're going to let you know and put you on. And we're not trying to put anybody down, but I don't give a shit about, you know, any type of white fragility, because basically I don't care about, you know, the African fragility or Africans, what's going on. So I don't have no sympathy with telling the truth.
Absolutely.
Where everything yunts deal with is a lie. And
absolutely.
What pisses me off about is it's election time coming, okay? There's going to be elections. You got these people running for governor and these politicians, they talking about CRT, critical race theory, and all that stuff. Half these places don't, these schools, more than them, don't have critical race theory in the schools in the first place, okay? And then for them to come on and talk about critical race theory as them, as people trying to teach you that your kids are born racist. Only an idiot would believe that, because years ago they determined, we did with all the studies, that racism is learned. You
brother, that don't even make sense.
Teach your kids racism. That's how they learn it.
Bro, that don't even make sense. Like, what are we talking about? Like, you could put two kids, a black child, a white child, an Asian child. You could just sit them together and they are going to play. They are going to talk. They are going to play, talk, run around. They are going to be kids. They don't see color. All they see is another child, another kid in front of them. You know what I mean? We're not going to do this.
No color at all, bro. None at all. You know, and you hit that in the head. And they done those studies back in the 70s, in the 60s and stuff. And that's what I'm saying. With this critical race theory, it's that group of people you know, that's running under the GOP, that's ruining them even more. You know, I don't trust either party, period. You know, and actions, you know, we see what you do, especially when it comes to the African people. You know, so the whitewashing and the history, we got to teach our own kids that instead of them going into the public schools or the school system and they try to teach them, oh, your history starts with slavery, and that's not true. You know, that's not true. Ignoramus.
That pisses me off. You know what I'm saying?
Ignoramus says that to a child that don't know shit about a culture. So they want to run through life being ignoramus. They want to run through life not knowing about the different races and cultures that put you on here. Everything you live to, society, everything in society, humanity, medicine, everything, math, language, everything comes from Africa.
100%. But see, you know that they know that though, Pete.
Yeah, they know.
They know that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they know that. They know that. But our people, we have to get the mindset of the youth and the people that, listen, teach your kids this. They call it Pan-Africanism. Yeah, we need Pan-Africanism. But I don't want to talk about it. I want to let the scholars give you this information because it's pertinent and it's too it asks questions. So maybe after seeing these videos and hearing it from these important scholars that you probably never heard of, some people may have, some people might not have heard of or heard this information. So you can start instilling in your kids that so they don't go to school and they don't fail because they sit there and want to say all this stuff. Oh, they're dumb. They want to label you as attention deficit. They want to label you ADHD. They say, oh, your IQ ain't high enough. All that. Man, get out of here, man. You know, get out of here. Every answer that y'all seek ran around the world seeking to try to give you an edge over who we are, which shows why you're so scared. And I understand, you know, genetic annihilation, you know, I mean, Caucasians are only 8% of the world's population.
Look,
you know,
some will argue that this pandemic, this COVID, is a form of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something that's been repeated throughout history. You know what I mean? And me standing on this side of the table, you can't argue with it. You know what I mean? You can't.
Trying to kill the African off the planet is like taking your own nose off your face. Literally. It's like shooting yourself. The African is the mathematics of this earth, and as far as the humankind go, and so and we're not on the same stuff as you. And I get it. I know the history. I know more about, you know, the Caucasian history probably than most Caucasians. We know where you came from, when, what happened, scientifically, everything. We know.
Yeah.
We know. So just don't give a fuck. We don't. So if it's going to make you fragile to hear this information or cringe, this ain't critical race thinking. These are facts. What we give and deliver are facts. You know.
Talk your shit.
And we're not on that. We're not on that, you know, hating and stuff. Like I said, too much energy. And together, that's what makes you United States, you know, that mythical, the United States experiment, as they call it. You know, even the politicians refer to it as an experiment. You know, and what pissed me off about this is a couple of weeks ago on This Week in the Culture, you had a video with Mitch McConnell addressing the Senate about voting, and he referred to the African American voters versus the American voters.
Yeah, like they're separate. Like they're two different things.
Get the heck out of here. And they lie and whitewash our history. You know, just to make it clear, we were here first. You know, what you were taught about the slave trade is true, but not to here. We were already here. You know, the majority of us were already here. The slave trade, the Middle Passage, and all that stuff was going to Brazil because they wiped out all those indigenous tribes down there with the slavery and the disease and the brutality.
They don't want to talk about that, Pete. They don't want to talk about that.
No,
they don't want to talk about that.
No,
you know what I'm saying? So what we're going to do, we're going to let them hear from the experts.
That's right.
So you will understand the knowledge is power, and it'll give you some confidence and some understanding, man. That's all we're trying to do.
That's all we do.
The culture,
address the culture.
Jewels, and let these kings and queens know out here that that's exactly what you are. You know what I'm saying? And maybe we can change some of this thinking and get it together as a community. You know what I'm talking about? So
absolutely.
What video you want to get into, P?
Let's check out the first one down there by the, you know, this one right down there.
Coach shot one?
No, the one below it, 1.1. Run that one. Let's give it to him.
Let's go. You already know we're gonna be right back to address the culture. You already know the vibes.
Mm-hmm. Check this out.
To keep it from being
now you got it. Now you got it. Well, of course.
To go into something that he came upon, which has set the scientific world of white geneticists into a fit. Dr. Robinson, I'd like for you to talk about the DNA series.
Yes. A few years ago, my brother and I read a book called The Mark of Oppression. And these two publishers, Cardiner and Oversee, said that they could not understand how is it that a group of people, African Americans, have been bludgeoned over their heads mentally and spiritually for hundreds of years and are still surviving. They couldn't understand it. And they said so in their book. The answer came out in 1996, why it is that not only have African Americans survived the worst mental and spiritual bludgeoning of any people in recorded history, but they are becoming champions of everything in which there is a level playing field. No matter what it is, we predominate in every field. This is why they won't teach our children African history, because they know that once our children get on the same level playing field as their white counterparts, that they will dominate just like we dominate in basketball, baseball, football, track and field, and anything else in which there is a level playing field. So that while they teach their children about the greatness of their European ancestors, they won't teach our children about the greatness of their African ancestors, because then that would be a level playing field in academia. And they know that we will predominate, just like all of these examples we've given them, that our children predominate when they know who they are from the African historical point of view. Now, here's what I found out in 1996. A group of geneticists wrote this book. Little tiny pen. Geneticists.
Can you identify where they're from and the group, how it came about?
Yeah, okay. All right, sure. Yes, indeed. As an organization is called the American Association for the Advancement of Science. The American Association for the Advancement of Science. Now, this organization is composed of people who study about DNA and the genome. And you've been reading about the DNA and the genomes. Well, this group of scientists came upon an idea by accident at first that different groups of people had different numbers of DNA series.
Explain that.
Now, a DNA series means that when your DNA is located, and say they get a hair from your head and they subject it to certain tests, they say, well, this is the DNA of Minister Brown, and yours is different from everybody else in the world, all right? Then they found further that not only are their DNA series different, but the number of DNAs in there are different in different groups. Whites have a different number of DNA, and blacks have a different number of DNA series. Apes have a different number of DNA series. Then they found this amazing thing, that the greater the number of DNA series, the smarter the person, the group is, the greater the probability of genius within that group. So they tested the orangutans, these 15 geneticists from around the world. Now, these geneticists came from 9 different universities. And we have here on the cover of the pamphlet they put out the names of these geneticists. And you can see them right there, right beneath the title of this pamphlet. Now, this pamphlet, most people have no idea what it means. But breaking it down, and after you study it and have it explained to you by a geneticist, a trained geneticist, you will find that they're talking about DNA series. Now, here are the names of these 15 geneticists from around the world: University of Japan, University of China. Yale University is the headquarters of this organization called the American Association for the Advancement of Science. And you see it down there. Now, this was copyrighted in 1996. All right. What it said is this, and this is the mind-blowing part. It said that when they tested the orangutan, they found out he only had 3 DNA series. When they tested the gorilla, they found that the gorilla has 4 DNA series. He's a little smarter than the orangutan. They tested the chimpanzee, which is an ape, and found that he had 5 DNA series. Then they went all into the different races of the world. They went into Europe and tested the DNA series of the English, the French, the German, the Spanish, the Russians, and found they had 6 DNA series. Then they put all of this, what they found from around the world, on a map. And this map really is called the intelligence map of the world, because they tested 116 different human groups and found their DNA series numbers. All of them, all over the world, have 6. And they put the numbers in form of a little flag that you can see on this map. These little flags have a color. And they show, oh, this is upside down. I'm sorry. Yeah. And they showed that the English have only 6, and all into Europe, only 6. Went over into Japan and China, and they only have 6. Over into America, which is predominantly European, and they only have 6. Then they came to Africa, and they came to the part of Africa. Now, all the rest of them, they put in little flag colors. Those flag colors are orange, red, if you notice. But when they came to Africa, found out that the African people have 9 DNA series, from here just below the Shanghai Empire down to the foot of Africa. All those 10 nations, of which African Americans descended from one of them. We have 9 DNA series, the greatest possibility of genius in our group. Now it's answered this age-old question. How can a people survive being told they're nothing for 400 years, never allowed to learn that they came from beautiful cities, and told they came from a jungle? How could a people survive? How can a people become champions in everything they touch? Because they have 9 DNA series, while the rest of the world has only 6.
What's going on with you, Lizette? How you
It's
doing?
our first episode, and I got my drink ready to go.
You know what I mean? Change those numbers now going crazy.
I'm just really proud of it. I'm getting a lot of good, great feedback.
So when I was in the group Dream, I was a teenager. We were surrounded by a lot of toxicity. So
All hell breaks loose. You don't have to explain as to why you didn't do, or why you didn't do this, or why you didn't do that.
and it was because of my husband standing there as my pillar of strength. That would be the ultimate, is to have my life back.
Out on IHIPHOPTV.com on YouTube. Shit is fire. Check out IHIPHOPTV.com on YouTube.
Kings and queens.
Kings and queens.
Kings and queens. You know what I mean? And we not gonna play no games and act like that's not actual factuals. This is what we talking about, culture shock. You know what I mean? That is actual factuals. You've seen the declarated professors at the bottom of that sheet letting you know they were not afraid to put their names on there and show you that they did this because it's real talk. We're not going to say it's fake. It wasn't real. This is actual factuals. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense.
Yeah.
How does, like you said in the video, how does people who have been oppressed for over 400 years,
over 500.
Come on, man. Let's be clear. And we're still here. And not only are we here, we thrive. Everything we touch, we turn it into water. You know what I mean? Everything we do, we make it. We add value to it. You know, we champions in everything that we touch. You know what I'm saying?
Like you
I
said,
man, it's like water. We make everything water. You know what I'm saying? And we know you can't live without water. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's amazing.
That's why I said, you know, and I said this was an important piece for people to hear, to see. You know, the whole piece, you don't know what he really, you seen it, I believe. You don't want to see what he says. Watch the video and he tells you, you know, because you know I mean, I hate it because we just want to coexist. You know, Africans, we just want to live. We're natural nurturers. You know, we have humanity in us. You know, we're gonna help. I watched a video the other day when a state trooper stopped this brother on the highway. Had him in cuffs, was getting ready to lock him up, and he started choking on his gum. The state trooper was choking on his gum till he hit the ground. And the dude, you can see where he said, "Should I run?" You can see him. Should I take off? And he went and told him to give me the keys, unhook him, and he helped him. He saved the trooper's life. He gave him the Heimlich maneuver about 5 times, and the last one, a big glob of gum came out on the hood of his car.
Wow.
And that state trooper, in turn, let that man go, which he should have. He saved your life.
He come on, man.
He saved your life.
But to be honest, I wouldn't have been surprised if he would have locked him up. You know?
I wouldn't have been surprised if he still locked him up either, because I know that's happened before. You know,
absolutely.
People assisted these officers and they still locked them up, saying, "No," they give you the bullshit. You know, you'll be all right and this, that, and that. No, you may be. Once as an African American or any person of color, once you go into that court system with something charged against you, your odds and your chances are that you're going to jail are very high.
You got to be disciplined. Once you go through any situation where they put you on probation, you know what I mean? That's where they get you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't have a time where I was on probation myself, and through just me just staying focused, I was able to go through the whole period and get off of probation. But a lot of people are not fortunate enough. You get caught in any kind of situation when you're on probation.
No.
That's it. That's where they see you in, and that's the start, of your rap sheet. You know what I mean? And they keep you in the system, especially when you black. You know what I mean? When you have so many different situations where they will manipulate the system to get you locked up.
Locked up.
Man, think about how many people have felonies on their record for marijuana. Think about how many people are still locked up
behind marijuana sales.
Behind marijuana, and it's legal.
Yeah, and they already know. They used to call marijuana the gateway. Marijuana's the gateway drug. Man. Alcohol's the gateway drug.
Come on, man.
You start drinking alcohol and get drunk. You don't care what you do when you're drunk.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't understand how nobody in jail right now for weed. Like they should just let any weed charge, open up them doors and let them out. Yeah. Take them charges off their records. Like, what are we doing? When there's places in this country where you could just walk in and say, let me get an eighth, let me get a half, let me get a we can literally buy weed legally in this country, and in that same country is people's in jail, locked up for selling.
And that's what I say.
That makes sense.
And that's what I say. You got to teach your kids. You know, I know entertainment, everything on TV. When you wake up in the morning and you turn that TV on, white supremacy is right there at your doorstep. You know, so you got to start taking your kids and you got to start directing them to other activities. You know, I mean, start reading books, man. There's a whole bunch of African American scholars that have information out there that'll keep you engaged for years. With the information. If you're like anything like me, once I get into this stuff, I can't stop because I get so heated and mad, and I want facts. I want the truth. You know, I want to learn the truth. I don't want to sit here and listen at people, you know, that haven't done nothing for their contributions to society, you know, aren't you know, diddly squat. They worry that their contributions to self. Their group when there's one race, the human race. You know,
talk that shit, P.
And we're here for that. Now, and the rest of this video, when he goes into it, when he breaks it down with the DNA, okay, about the intelligence and everything. And I already had in my mind a long time ago that the darker skinned you are, the closer to you're in the image of God to create.
But they say the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
The sweeter the juice. The darker you are, the darker you are. And that's a couple of another facts. You're destroying the earth. Okay. You know, I heard talks. I've seen the research about the white Africans. You know, they was trying to get out. This thing's called albinos. Okay, they're African. Okay, and groups like Egypt today, them people don't even consider themselves African, but Egypt's in Africa. Okay, get out of there then. You don't belong there. You're not the same people. You're not the people that built that. You're not the people that manufactured that. All those people are gone. They're not there because all of the mixing and most of them people are transit people from other cultures, from other places that came there and settled the races mixed with, you know, how it went back in those days with colonialism. So all of that's a part. So if critical race theory is about not teaching your kids the truth about a group of people, because you want to be able to be racist and say ignorant things, because that's what you do. You just don't have nothing else. You know, we bailed you out before. And like I was saying, with the global condition, back in those days when those pyramids was being built, and they built pyramids all over the world. I mean, the pyramid builders are the same group of same Africans that took the technology out of Africa and went all around the world. The Mississippi River in the United States, it was about 110 pyramids along that river. They were here we were here already. You know, they found stuff in the Grand Canyon. They call it the dead zone. They blocked it off because they don't want. And if I was a white person, I'd be pissed off because they lied to you. You've been bamboozled worse than us.
Man, you know, they're not pissed off because they're reaping the benefits of a country and a world that's set up for them to win. And like I say, this is not bashing the white people or
we're not.
Caucasians. This is not about that. To be honest, it's not even about the white people. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not. It's a small group of racists.
Yes,
men.
It is, and it's affecting just the whole culture and the whole community. You know what I mean? I know the younger generations are less racist. You know what I mean? They see things a little bit different. So I know it's going to change.
Yeah, it's going to change.
It's definitely going to change. It's going to fizzle out. You know what I mean? But we're speaking about now and not wanting to lose ourselves in the knowledge, because that's what it seems like they're doing. They're trying to erase our history, erase our story, and continuing to, like I say, piss on your head and call it rain. You know what I'm saying?
You know,
and at this point, we just can't do that. You have to know where you're from. You know what I'm saying? Who you are, because it gives you confidence. It gives you understanding. It gives you the confidence to go out in this world and keep your head up and compete. You know what I'm saying?
Create your own way. That's the way. You go to colleges so they can teach you how to work for other people, to be obedient employees.
Create your own situation.
Create your
own understanding. Get knowledge of self. That's what it's about. And that's the energy that we're going to bring on this show every chance we get. Now, you heard from us. Now we want to hear from you. Like, comment, subscribe, join the culture gang, join us, tap in, and let us know how you feel. Speak your truth. You know what I'm saying? We want to hear how y'all feel, you know what I'm saying, because it affects us, and that's what we trying to do, address the culture. You already know the vibes. That's what we here to do, you know what I'm saying? So tap in, you know what I'm saying? Tap in to IHIPHOPTV, www.IHIPHOPTV, where it's a 24-hour channel for Address the Culture, and it's other content creators as well. You already know the vibes. Tap in to JESS TV, where we tuned in on 101. That's Roku on every channel. You know what I'm saying? Every Roku situation, you can tap in. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know the vibes. Everybody, you can tap in. You know what I'm saying? Check us out on the radio. That's Philly Jams 95.3, Jams 95.3, and Indy 101. You already know. We'll be back next week with the same type of vibe, same type of energy, giving you news you can use, and we're going to do what we do best. We're going to address the culture.
All day long, all day. There's more coming. And this is culture shock. Get used to that. You know, and take heed and get into your history. Teach your children more, because when they go off to school, and them history teachers that don't know jack, the ones, or they can't because they're guidelines, no, you got to let your kids know, no, you don't come from slavery. Slavery was a part of our history, but no, you come from kings and queens of America. There's kings and queens here in America. And that was addressed with the Pacific Island series, you know, with Palaka Namahoy and Darren Tabon from Aladdin 19. So we know that there's a whole bunch of stories. So we're going to put them out there. I mean, I hate to say it, most of your history and what you believe comes out of Hollywood. Hollywood ain't real. Get your kid in books. Get your kid away from the TV and the video games. Get them learning about themselves. Build their self-esteem, and let's go.
And when all else fails, you can tap in with me and P.stock right here on Address the Culture. You already know the vibes. So until next week, I'm your boy Big Wall.
I'm your man Pstock, always.
And this is Address the Culture. And like I always say, your culture makes you who you are. So make sure they respect it. We're going to catch you on the next episode. We up out of here.
Peace.
so excited to announce J111's Power Hour with your hosts, myself, J111. And so now you got your boys that are in a lot of scenarios. They're raised by mom, maybe grandma, maybe mom and auntie.
You're correct. You know, we do have a lot of power that a lot of some women don't really know that they have. Or
now, I don't know that I'm gonna just come out and be so vulgar, but we all know the power of the nook. The old power of the nook. And when the nook is took away, they took the nook. That's when you think twice. Look at right at the bottom of my tarot card. Cruelty. Yeah, look, it's a misfit toy right there. Look at that. He's like, This is a failed mission as far as humankind is concerned, because we're supposed to live in abundance.
What's going on, y'all? It's your girl, Lady Luck, and I'm here with the homie Big Wall, and you are now tuned in to Address the Culture, where we're addressing everything in the culture. Keep it locked.
Addressing the culture, I'm addressing the culture, huh? Addressing the culture, I'm addressing the culture, huh? Addressing the culture, I'm addressing the culture, huh? Addressing the culture, I'm addressing the culture. We gon' talk about it. Come address the culture, we gon' talk about it. Come address the culture, we gon' talk about it. Come address the culture, we gon' talk about it. Come and address the culture, huh?
Young and AZ, man. Stay tuned in, man. We just getting started, man. We addressing the culture.
It's 64, boy.
Scratch. Addressing the culture, I'm addressing the culture, huh? Addressing the culture, I'm addressing the culture, huh? Addressing the culture, I'm addressing the culture, huh? Addressing the culture, I'm addressing the culture. We gon' talk about it. Come address the culture, we gon' talk about it. Come address the culture, we gon' talk about it. Come address the culture, we gon' talk